This is Christy Rich. I am your host. This is Holistic Me TV. This is a brand new TV show on YouTube, and it is to empower women all around the world with their health and wellness. So before I forget, go ahead and hit subscribe so that you can watch the full series, so that you can watch all of these amazing interviews by guest experts all around the world. And I'm so excited today to bring on a guest from Canada, from British Columbia, Canada. And before I do, let me introduce a little bit about myself and a little bit more about this show. So I am Christy Rich. I have been a holistic health expert and healer for over 18 years. I absolutely love the work that I do. I love to empower women with their health and wellness, and I do that by helping them to overcome chronic conditions, chronic illnesses, and trauma by getting to the root cause, which means really getting to that root to understand why that condition happened, and then treating it mind, body, and spirit, and then through natural ways and natural remedies. So I have been doing this for 18 years, and over the last several years, I have really become very passionate about holistic childbirth. So I am currently writing a 3-book series on holistic childbirth around the world, and I'm very excited to bring it into the world, to birth it into the world. But since it's not ready yet, I wanted to birth this TV show, and for this season to have it be all about the pregnancy journey. So again, don't forget to subscribe if you really want to learn about the pregnancy journey. We are going to go deep with all of these amazing guest experts. So you will learn about holistic health and wellness, women's health, and also about the pregnancy journey, and also about women's stories to inspire and empower you. So let's bring on today's guest, Ashley Holmes from British Columbia. So let me go ahead and read her bio so you can learn a little bit more about her work and what she does. So Ashley Holmes is the CEO and founder of Holistic Fertility Coach, Inc. She supports women struggling with infertility to heal their womb by bringing mind, body, and spirit back into balance and alignment. She is passionate about her one-on-one work that allows women to nourish themselves from the inside out to conceive with ease. Beautiful. Welcome, Ashley. How are you?
I'm great. Thank you. I'm excited to be here and to have this conversation.
Oh, I am too. It's great to have you here. So for those who are not familiar with you and the work that you do, can you share your story and why you're so passionate about helping women with fertility?
It really was birthed from my own experience and my own struggles, and knowing that there is not adequate support out there for all the women that are struggling with infertility, and
Yes.
that there is so much that we can do to empower ourselves on our own journey. And I discovered that for myself.
Yes. So take us a little bit into your story, if you don't mind. So share a little bit about your struggles with your fertility issues and the steps that you took to try to remedy it.
Over a decade ago, I was trying to conceive and used a clinic, but I had unexplained infertility. I never had any answers from the clinic. Eventually, I did conceive twins, so I was very blessed, but it wasn't a road I wanted to go down again or something I wanted to put myself through again, because mentally and emotionally, it took a big toll on me. And
Yes.
I didn't think that I could have children naturally when I walked away from that experience, and that
Mhm.
simply wasn't the truth. And after landing on my yoga mat, by embodying holistic practices, by bringing mind, body, and spirit back into balance and alignment and feeling connected, I can see very easily and naturally in a very short amount of time. And
Wonderful.
there is just so much wisdom and power that I wasn't tapping into that is available to all of us.
Yes, beautiful. So how did you make that transition from Western medicine and seeking treatment to then a holistic lifestyle and to get on that yoga mat and to heal yourself?
Really, I never understood initially why I was so drawn and why I kept going back, but it really is the energetics behind it. And it was just fully feeling it in mind, body, and spirit for myself, how much of a difference this made in my life, how much I was impacted, how much better I felt, how much energy I had, just all these subtle shifts at first. And then I just kept diving deeper and wanting to learn more and wanting to embody more and just seeing
Mm,
how much that transformed me in my life. and
Beautiful.
brought life to me easily
Yes.
and naturally.
Beautiful, beautiful. So you trusted your intuition. You trusted your intuition that it didn't feel right going to the clinic, and it was hard for you mentally. I'm sure it was also hard for you physically. It's not easy to go through those treatments. It's also very costly, and it puts a lot of pressure on yourself. Whereas being on the yoga mat, you connect with your mind, your body, and your spirit, and you start to feel better, and you start to see that you are improving, and then that percolates into the rest of your life.
Absolutely. It's just a positive ripple effect, right? And it's 100% natural, it's
Yes.
100% holistic healing. There's no side effects to anything I offer. There's only positive benefits. And
Yes.
it's just a completely different shift and way to live if you choose to.
Yes, I completely agree. That's why I decided to create this program so that more people can know how to heal themselves naturally and what a holistic lifestyle means. So take us further into your journey. So you got on that yoga mat, you started doing some yoga. What kind of yoga did you do? Did you then become certified right away? Take us on the journey.
I initially started with a $5 karma class, a hot yoga class, and that's sort of
Okay.
what got me hooked in the beginning, but that's not what led to the transformation. What my body and what most people's body really need is when I started to further explore and bring in practices that were more beneficial for my nervous system,
Yes.
like yin yoga, which is similar to going to acupuncture to free the energy in your meridian lines in your body, and just working with my nervous system in a completely different way and bringing it out of fight or flight mode and into rest and digest mode, because there is stress in our lives, but what are we doing with this stress? How are we navigating it so that it's not accumulating in our bodies, and so that we can process things as they're happening and we're not holding on to them? And so it was really a complete surrender and letting go, and really just making peace with the past and with who I was and choosing a different route forward.
Beautiful, beautiful. And for those who are not aware, what is yin yoga? How is it different from other types of yoga? What happens in a yin yoga class?
So yin yoga classes are longer held poses where it really gets into the tissues and you get into the issues in your tissues, and you work your body in a different way, and there's a lot of stillness and there's a lot of just bringing in that dynamic that is different from yang. We all have a lot of yang in our lives, and it's really embodying and bringing in that other dynamic and that other aspect of ourselves, because we are both, but often we're too far the other way, and we need to bring that back into balance for ourselves, as well as restorative yoga, resting, restoring, recovering, rejuvenating, like bringing that back into your body, because often we think we just need to do more and be more and
Yeah.
try more, and the energy and dynamics behind that are completely different than approaching it from a different way.
And what is the difference between restorative yoga and yin yoga? I think some people think that they're the same. How are they different?
They're different in the way that restorative really is just like prop yourself up, make yourself as comfortable as possible, and really allow yourself to rest and to heal. So, for anyone who's had PTSD in their lives, it is really a wonderful practice to bring into your life. Or if you're healing from something, that is something that you can do. Like after I had birth naturally, I was able to start doing that for myself versus after a C-section, not being able to do anything for a long period of time.
Yes, yes. Well, I must say that yin yoga is one of my favorites, and it is very hard to find yin yoga teachers. So I think it's very important that people know what it is. And you described it so beautifully, and you described the differences so beautifully to understand that in our society, Western society especially, we are all about go, 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 be productive, be in the masculine, show that you can be successful, and we don't allow ourselves to receive, to rest, to digest, as you said. And we need to relax our nervous systems, especially if we wish to conceive, to be mamas. We can't always be in that yang energy. We need to be in the feminine. And so yin yoga is a beautiful way to do that. And also, it's not necessarily easy. So, like you said, we hold the poses longer. So it can be a little bit intense to hold the poses, but you have props to rest on. But still, it's not necessarily an easy class, but very, very enjoyable. Great stretch, very relaxing. And again, very peaceful. I love it. So, thank you
I
for
love
sharing.
that it can just, you learn to breathe into discomfort for a
Yes.
short amount of time. And what you do on your mat, you can take off of your mat, right? So when you're faced in those challenging situations off of your mat, you've developed this inner resilience to be able to cope and handle whatever comes your way. And it really
Yes.
just fosters that. And the more you can embody that and bring that into your life, the more it helps you in all areas of your life.
Yes, very well said. And so important for us to remember to breathe. Okay, so
Yes,
again, sounds so easy,
number one.
sounds so simple, but so many of us, we are so caught in our head, in the mental, we forget to breathe. And we do not breathe through discomfort. We hold our breaths. So to be able
Mhm.
to, encourage the body to breathe, to relax, to expand, that'll help you throughout, again, all of your life, just as you mentioned. So well said. So again, I think you brought up so many great points already. It's so important for people to know there's so many different types of yoga, and there is, hot yoga, which is more fiery and which is, not for everyone. So you need to do the type of yoga that is right for you. And you may need to try different types until you find the one that's right for you. So for me, I love Iyengar, I love Yin, I love Yoga Nidra, I love Kundalini Yoga. So it's all about what feels right for you, for your soul. So take us further into the journey. So I know you also got into studying Ayurveda. Can you describe how you got into that and what is Ayurveda?
It really is the science of healing your mind and body and doing it in a natural way. And it's the sister science to yoga. So they work hand in hand with one another. And it really is being in rhythm with the seasons, with nature, with yourself, and realizing everything is connected and bringing harmony to that. And it really is life changing for myself to know that I'm a Pitta. So I don't need Pitta is composed, my dosha is fire and water, so I don't need more fire energy in my life. I used to teach hot yoga until I got pregnant, and
Oh,
then I realized that really was creating a lot of imbalance for me because that was adding more heat to my system and bringing me further away from feeling my best. But often we are drawn to things that create more imbalance in our life. And
yes.
so I can still do yoga every single day, but I don't need to do that kind of yoga. I can work with my body in a different way. And it's really just a learning of what works for you and with you best. And it doesn't mean never, but it just means that's not something I'm going to do every single day.
I'm so glad you brought this up. This is so important. So I know two of my doshas. So one is Pitta and the other I'm fire and I'm air. What's the other one? I'm not water.
Vata,
Vata? Is it Vata?
vata.
Okay, because I always
Mhm.
thought that almost sounds like water and I'm not water. Okay, so I'm Pitta and Vata. And it's very interesting because as I mentioned, I love Kundalini yoga. I love that it's spiritual. I love that you wear white clothing. I love that you sing. I love that you have all these mantras. I feel so good when I do it. But one day there was a woman who came in, a guest teacher, and she came in and she assessed that I should not be doing Kundalini yoga based on my doshas, based on being air and fire. And that's because with the Kundalini yoga, you can raise the Kundalini and you can become more fiery, such as when you do breath of fire. And I was so taken back. I was like, I love Kundalini yoga. I feel so good. Really, I shouldn't be doing this. I should be doing something else. But it made sense. And I don't do it every day. Sometimes I still do a little Kundalini, but it's very important for people to know what is right for you. And I'll just give one quick other story so people can really see this very clearly. I had a spiritual mentor who loved Kundalini yoga as well. And she was a Kundalini yoga teacher. And she went to her master teacher for a workshop. And Kundalini yoga is very structured, and you have certain poses that you do for a certain amount of time, certain amount of minutes. And she had to do it. And it wasn't one of these classes, just do it at your own pace, whatever feels good. If you need to take a break, if you need to modify, whatever, it's like keep up. Like the teacher would just say, keep up, keep doing it. Like keep pushing yourself to do this. You can do this. And it was too much for her. And she kept on doing it. But what happened was she lost all the sensation in the left side of her body. So she completely went numb. And this continued for quite a while after class, I think at least a week. And she went to doctor's appointments and she was very scared, thinking that she had started to develop an illness. And this was because she had short circuited her system, that she had trauma from her childhood that she hadn't resolved, that she hadn't healed. And by activating through this breath, she was then reactivating this freeze mode in her body. So again, it's very important that you know your constitutions in Ayurveda so you can know what type of yoga is right for you.
Absolutely. It's such a good point to bring that there is something for everybody, but it's finding what's right for you. And that's why I work one to one with women. And that's why I customize what serves them best because they don't need everything. They need what serves them best. What is going to
Yes,
help them the most with where they're at, with what they've been through, processing anything that has come to pass, and moving forward from there.
beautiful. So you treat everyone as an individual, what their individual needs are.
Absolutely. And that's so the way it should be.
I know, but not everyone does that. That's why I want to start. That's why I want to highlight it. So again, with holistic health and wellness, those who are holistic practitioners, yes, they tend to give everyone an individual treatment approach, care, get to the root cause. But again, unfortunately, with Western medicine, it's not the same approach. And so it's very important for people to realize that, yes, this individual approach is what you need because we're all individuals. None of us are the same, even if we have certain conditions that are similar, even if we have fertility issues, that doesn't mean it's the same root cause for everyone.
That's just it. And there's no quick fixes, you know? There's no band-aid approach. I get to the root cause as well because nothing has come to exist without a reason. And
Yes.
so it's really, working with the subconscious mind and working with the body and feeling connected during the process to be able to see what is beneath all of that because it's there, but we have to be able to sometimes look at our shadows too. And sometimes that's scary, which is why it's nice to have someone to hold your hand and say,
Yes.
it's okay, you've got this.
Yes. Nice to have that support. It's scary to go through hard things alone. It's much better to have the support. Yes.
Absolutely.
And do you find that a lot of women focus on the physical and forget to focus on the mental and the spiritual aspects in order to heal or in order to help with their fertility issues?
I think as a society, oftentimes we think that those pieces don't matter and that they're not as relevant, but yoga is mind, body, and spirit. There
Yes.
is no separation between those things. That
Yes.
is what yoga embodies and involves. And I have been asked, can I just have the yoga? And it's like, you can have all the yoga that you want, but I can't guarantee you anything.
Mm,
There is, that's a piece of it. But if you're after a transformation in yourself and your experience and your journey from where you are, then there's a lot more to it than just yoga. And
yeah.
yoga also has 8 limbs, and there's many things within yoga itself.
Yes. And just to go back to Western medicine again, Western medicine treats the physical body. It doesn't always
Yes.
treat the mental. It doesn't always think of the spiritual. And we are all three equal health. So missing one or two, you're not going to be able to heal that condition. So again, that's why yoga is so brilliant, is that it is a marriage of the mind, body, and spirit. And I do think that a lot of women may think that Western medicine is the only way to solve fertility issues. They may not be aware of holistic health and wellness if they haven't had their own health conditions that they needed to resolve. And so it's very important for them to open their minds and to see that there's other ways to heal, even if a doctor doesn't recommend it.
Absolutely. And I think it should be your first resort to go to, not your last resort. You don't want to exhaust everything and think there are no options for you. This is always an option for you, and this is going to benefit you to get pregnant, once you're a new mom and for the rest of your life. Because when you understand your body at this level and not only what you eat, but what you consume, how your energy works, how to be able to modify and shift your energy and uplift it
Mm,
without going down a spiral and a loophole when something challenging or an obstacle comes along your way. There will always be something. If it's not
yes,
infertility, there is always going to be something that is going to challenge you. And to know and be grounded and anchored in practices that serve you and honor you and nourish you, that
yeah,
is
yes.
a wise decision.
I think so. And you've said so many brilliant points. So, one of them, I believe the journey is just as important as the end result. So, we need to focus on the process being enjoyable. It doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be difficult. You can have fun along the way, and it can be easy. It doesn't have to be hard, even if it has taken you a while in the past and you haven't overcome it and you haven't gotten the results that you wanted to. So it's a mind shift, a mind a mind shift, and it's a different way of living. So to realize that this can be a part of your life, a holistic lifestyle, not just do something for a limited amount of time and get your result and then go back to doing the things you used to do, but realizing, like you said, we have our ups and downs. So find some tools to support you so that you stay more in alignment as you go through the process.
Absolutely. And I think that oftentimes I tell my clients, stop focusing, on what's out there in the future. Like focus on now, focus on
Yeah.
what's going on now in the moment and
Present, present.
focus focus on what is happening with you right now. What are you feeling? What are you noticing? How are you breathing? That's what truly matters. When the more often you can do that and bring your awareness there, then looking to the future and looking to and only just focusing on that one thing because it will stay out there when your focus is out there. Like bring it inward and journey inward.
Beautiful. So if we focus on the future too much, that creates anxiety, right? Because we're never
Mhm.
there in the future, we're only in the present. So, like you said, if we can focus on the present and enjoy what we have, be grateful for what we have, then we can accomplish what we wish because we are present instead of, will I ever? The fear is coming in. Just enjoy right
Yes.
now.
There is a lot of that. There is a lot of emotions that come up and
Yes,
they're all valid. They're all they all need to be acknowledged, but we can choose to consciously shift what we're focusing on and not carry those heavy emotions of guilt and shame and fear and anger and all of these things that come up because they do, but we can learn to navigate them in a healthy and positive and productive way that we're not stuck in them.
yes, yes. And emotions are supposed to move, they're supposed to change.
Yes.
So it's good to feel them, feel your emotions, feel them strongly, but realize that they can change. And when they start to change, let them change. Don't keep on holding on to that one emotion saying, I am frustrated, I am angry. Just allow it to go with the flow. And through movement, that's a great way to move your emotions. So, would you mind sharing a little bit about your pregnancy journey? Would you mind sharing after incorporating yoga into your life? Do you believe that helped you? Do you believe that that changed your pregnancy, labor, and postpartum journey?
Absolutely. It was night and day difference in that the first time around I was filled with a lot of fear because it was deemed high risk because it was twins and it was an emergency C-section and I was always worried about, would they be okay? Would they come too early? There was just a lot of fear there and then having a C-section and a longer recovery and having to look after two little ones as well. And then
Yeah, that's a
when I
lot.
conceived naturally, it was I was teaching hot yoga and was like, "Why do I feel sick? Why do I have a headache?" And it was because the heat was just too much. I had to just stop. My
Yeah,
body was telling me, "You need to stop. This
yeah.
doesn't serve you anymore. You cannot do this."
Yes, listen to your
And
body, everyone. Your body is wise.
and really it wasn't until I conceived naturally that I feel I took my first breath because we did a practice outside in a labyrinth that was silent. And I was still very much in my ego of like having to keep up and move with everybody else. And it was like I had to slow down and I had to listen to my body because I was carrying a little one. And it was like, oh, now I'm listening to my body. Now I'm breathing when I need to breathe. And it wasn't coming from externally, it was coming from internally. And that's really sort of the moment that I became my own teacher and really learned to trust and listen to my body. And that led to my water breaking naturally and me going for a hike and having that baby naturally because I didn't want another C-section and being back at Baby and Me Yoga 10 days later. So really empowered, night and day difference, and possible for all of us.
Wonderful, beautiful story. So take us back a little bit. You said something really inspirational and eye-opening, how then you became your own teacher. So what happened at that moment? You accepted your intuition, you embodied who you wanted to be. Can you go a little bit more into that?
I think for the longest time, you can hear something many times. How many times had I been in a yoga class where the teacher's like, follow your body, follow your breath? And it was like, it was going in and it wasn't landing. And it was like, at that moment, it was like, I get it. It makes sense. I'm doing that now. And I thought I was doing that until that moment. And I truly wasn't. And it was really just an embodiment of being present and so conscious and aware instead of
Beautiful.
just moving along at everybody else's pace and rhythm, but following my own.
Yes, consciousness is so important. Mindfulness is so important. Trusting ourselves. Yes, beautiful, beautiful. And alignment. Alignment is so important too. So take us on the journey of how you help your clients. So can you describe the work that you do? I know you do yoga um, nidra. We haven't talked about that yet. Can you mention what yoga nidra is?
Sure. Yoga Nidra is a beautiful meditation. It's similar to yogic sleep. So you cannot do it wrong. And it's really what I recommend to anybody or where we sort of start if they're like, I can't meditate, I've tried, I can't still my mind. And it's really just reframing what meditation is that you're not going to quiet your mind, you're not going to still all your thoughts, but it's just being aware and allowing them to pass and observing your thoughts and being a witness to them and not holding on to them. And so it's a beautiful meditation that, like you were saying, you're not just your physical body. So you're working into the 5 layers of your being. And even if you do fall asleep, it is still working on your subconscious mind and you will receive everything you need to receive, which is why I just love it. And it's so beautiful. And on the flip side, when you are a new mom and you are sleep deprived, 20 minutes of yoga nidra is equivalent to 4 hours of sleep. So it's like that can be a quick reset if your baby has been up during the night several times and things like that.
Yes, beautiful. So yoga nidra is also one of my favorites. I love shavasana. I love to just surrender and relax and not have to do anything. And it's amazing what can come up in a yoga nidra class. So I'll just share a brief story. I went to yoga nidra class years ago, was at a woman's house, and she had these anti or zero gravity chairs, or you could lay on the
Right.
floor, and beautiful music. And she said to us, set an intention of what you wish for this session. And at the time, I had wanted to travel to South America, and I didn't know where in South America to travel to. And so she gave us this intention, and then through the process, I could see very clearly in my mind's eye with my eyes closed, South America, and then it just glowed a certain part on the left that kind of goes in a little bit, and it was Peru. And it just glowed the southern part. It was very, very specific. And I saw all these very, very vivid images, even images from Peru. I'd never been there, in Lima with the traffic going by. And it's just amazing when you open your mind to really receive, not only do you receive the healing, but you can receive these beautiful visions. And I'm sure for moms and mamas to be, to allow yourself to receive from the divine these downloads, it's just, they can be so magical, so life-changing, and right on point.
Absolutely. It's really just such a it's such a gift, I feel like, that people should use and really, truly just, you know, I think there's so much sort of excuses that can go along with why I can't, or I've tried, or I did it for 3 days and I can't get back into it, and all of these things can come up, but it's like, initially you may need to be guided when you start meditating, but soon you will be able to, be in more of a meditative state throughout your day, where you're not triggered so much and you're just more in a state of equilibrium than, say, prior.
Yes. And do you teach other styles of meditation as well?
I teach many, many styles of meditation. I love to incorporate chakras and chakra work,
Yes.
and I give my clients Reiki sessions and
Beautiful.
give them energy healing sessions like that, because these are all things that you can do for yourself that are going to help you feel like yourself, because it can be
Yes.
very draining and depleting on your system when you're going through this. So anything you can do to uplift yourself and elevate yourself and just feel clear and focused and have the energy that you want and you need to continue on this journey, because when you're in this depleted and drained state, it's not the most receptive place for you to be able to conceive.
Yes. Yes. Well said. And for those who are not familiar with Reiki, can you give a brief description of what Reiki is, what happens?
It's really, I do all my Reiki by distance, and it is just an energy healing session of purification and clearing and just allowing, I'm just sort of an open channel to allow what needs to be worked on to come through. And my clients love it, and sometimes they ask for more of it, and
I
it
love
really
it
is
too.
just such it's such a beautiful thing. I do it on myself too every day. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, it's just something I've, continued to do for myself because it keeps me healthy. Everybody else can have different things in my household going on, and yet because I've instilled all these practices daily for myself, I don't, get taken down when the cold runs through the house or the stomach
Mhm.
flu or whatever. I just soldier on because I prioritize my self-care and my
Yes.
self-love and
So
really
important.
look after myself. And for a long time, I thought, oh, you have to do it for everybody else and you can't give from an
Yes.
empty cup. And
No.
I learned that. And
Yeah.
it's like relearning.
Yes, yes. So just to emphasize what you already said, so Reiki is universal life force energy. For those who are not familiar, she or the Reiki practitioner will channel the energy. So you will receive it. It will balance your chakras. We have 7 major chakras. We also have minor chakras. We have organs to heal. So it also heals the organs. It heals our aura or clears our aura if we picked up negativity. Oftentimes, we pick up other people's energy, so it can just clear all that and make you feel refreshed, renewed, rejuvenated, and no side effects, right? You just need to make sure you drink lots of water to help, but it is good for anyone, for moms to be, for men, women, dogs, children, anyone can benefit from Reiki. And as Ashley mentioned, if you become certified in it, you can even do it on yourself and do self-healing. So it's a beautiful modality, beautiful, beautiful, natural, gentle modality, and powerful too. I do it
Yes.
as well. Yeah. So what else do you do with your clients to support them?
We have our coaching sessions, and I also encourage many things like journaling, and we look into cognitive behavioral therapy, or what are your go-tos? What is your mind always sort of looping in certain situations, whether that is like worst case scenarios or like this always happens to me, or just becoming aware of that and noticing that and then reframing those things, because often we don't realize that's what's happening, or the program that is running in our minds in the background. And it's really empowering to be like, oh, I see myself doing that again. I'm going to notice that, stop and swap that and shift that into something that serves me better.
Beautiful, beautiful. Great. And do you by any chance know the statistics for fertility issues in Canada or worldwide?
Absolutely. In Canada, it used to be 1 in 8, but it's 1 in 6 now of couples that are struggling with fertility issues, and miscarriages are 1 in 4. So there is
Yeah.
so much work that is needed. There is so much that support that is needed to be given out there to help people through this, because often people think that they just need to get pregnant or they just want to get pregnant. And often there are so many other things that come up along the way that didn't even cross their mind. And then they're sitting there going, how did I even get to this place? I don't even know where I am anymore. And they feel completely
Mm.
lost.
Yes, yes, yes. So women feel lost, women feel confused. Like you mentioned, oftentimes they're not given a reason why they're having fertility issues. It's unexplained, it's unknown. And so doctors say you can have different treatments, IVF, etc., but they don't understand the root cause, and that often makes women feel like it's all me. What have I done? What's wrong with my body? Is my body faulty? Why someone else able to conceive and not me? Why am I having miscarriages? And oftentimes it can be, like you mentioned, that the woman is out of alignment, that she is able to conceive, but she's not connected to her spiritual world. She's not connected to herself. She's not connected to her inner world. She's not relaxing her nervous system. She's doing too much pushing and forcing and in the masculine. So many other reasons why there can be fertility issues. And like you said, once we allow ourselves, give ourselves that self care time, put it into a lifestyle, and have the support, then you can see that you can conceive naturally and easily.
Wonderfully said. It's so true. And just the awareness needs to be there that there's not just, one way to do things. And I think often we have been programmed, if something is quote unquote wrong, you go to the doctor and they fix
Right.
you. And it's like, why are we always looking outside of ourselves? Like, let's take that inward. And what can I do for myself to help myself on this journey, to help myself on my path, to feel like myself while I'm going through this instead of
Mm-hmm.
I did not enjoy the way fertility drugs felt in my body. It felt like an outer body experience,
Oh,
and it was
really?
just like it really I really did not like it,
Yeah,
and
describe a
it
little bit
really
what you felt. What side effects did you feel? What did it feel like?
I think it's just that it amplifies everything so much, right? Like, it just really does feel like an emotional roller coaster ride, and you just
Mm,
wanna hop off. You're like, "Is this over yet? Can I get off yet?
yeah,
Stop. I'm done. I don't wanna do this anymore." Yet
yeah.
you know this is the only way to get what you want, or you think that's the only way to go to get what you want, and it really I'm was blessed with twins and boy girl ones, and I was like, "Just be happy," but that little piece and part of me always wanted to know because I've been a seeker since I was young, I
Mhm,
just wanted to know why. Why was it so hard? Why was it a struggle? Why? And I think that we all sort of if we're a seeker, we want to find the answers. And I did find my own answers and, you know, have peace with that and have peace with my life. And it's like, yes, I kept going and I landed exactly where I was meant to at the right point in
yes,
time for that exact reason. And
yes.
knowing that now, right? But at the time, not being as aware.
Yeah, yeah. And again, want to emphasize what you said that women have choices. Women think that they don't when it comes to fertility. They think that they have to do what the doctor says. They think they have to struggle. They think they have to take these medications. But there are many other choices, many other ways, many other methods, people to help them. And it doesn't have to be so painful, difficult, and emotional. Yeah. So
Precisely.
yeah. So people watching, have some hope. Make sure you reach out to the person who feels right for you. If Ashley feels good, then reach out to her, contact her. If there's someone in your community that feels right, reach out. But make sure you trust your intuition. Make sure you do what feels good for you instead of just, I have to do it. And I hate it. And I just can't stand this process, but I've got to have a child. Again, the process is important. The process is as important as the end result. Yeah.
Beautifully said.
Thank you. Any final words that you would like to leave with the audience? Anything else you'd like them to know about you or about fertility or about anything?
I think I would love to leave the audience with I have a meditation available. Just reach out for me if you've experienced loss or miscarriage, because I really feel like there's a lot of healing that can happen through that. And I'm happy to give that to anyone who is seeking that support. And I have a holistic fertility coach Facebook group that is a sacred community to be in, to feel supported, and to know that you're not alone, because I know for myself that I felt very alone on my journey and I felt like nobody understood and I thought all of these things. And, you know, just knowing that you're not alone, knowing that someone has your back, knowing that you can ask a question, you don't have to feel afraid to ask any sort of question, you know. If you don't ask, you don't receive. So
Yes. Everyone
I
asks.
welcome Yeah, I welcome you with open arms, because it is a very trying time and it really can be a big test. And I feel like you deserve all the support that you need. And
Yes.
unfortunately, the Western world doesn't support a holistic approach.
Yes, I agree. And they don't nurture women enough. Women need to
No,
feel empowered with their health. They need to feel that they are supported, not that they are, pigeonholed into a box and they have no choices. That doesn't feel good. So do what feels good, everyone. We are here to support you. And again, I have a book series coming out. So if you can wait, it's not quite out yet. It is a 3-book series on holistic childbirth around the world. And this will really introduce you to women all around the world. I interviewed over 70 moms and childbirth experts. And so you will learn about their stories. And again, you won't feel alone because I am sharing taboos. I am sharing trauma. I am sharing things that women don't really talk about openly. And these women felt comfortable sharing their stories with me so that I can present them to you so that you can feel that you're not alone and also know how you can heal naturally, how you can overcome chronic conditions in pregnancy, how you can help yourself with fertility, how you can overcome chronic conditions in postpartum, and also prevent complications in labor. This is very important information that women need to know about. Unfortunately, it is not broadcast enough. So definitely check out my book series when it's out. You can join my list in order to find out when that book series is out. www.thedancingcurtain.com/get healthy. Then you'll find out about my book series. And also for you, Ashley, I do have a survey for book 1. So if you or any other mamas would like to contribute to book 1, you can fill out a survey about your childbirth experience. And this will help to provide statistics because I did a lot of research for book 1, and there were certain areas that I couldn't find the information. So I wanted to ask women out there if they would be interested in participating. You can be anonymous. You can leave your name. If you do leave your name and email, you can be up for a prize. So that's always fun. But again, this is to help women around the world, to give them information so that they can have enough information to make informed decisions, which I think is so important.
it really is. I'm excited to put my experience out there, because I think that there is so much I wish I would have known before, and that there is so much that we can truly just tap into and work with and listen to our bodies and,
Yes.
treat it like the sacred vessel that it is, because often women who are trying to conceive are beating themselves up because they feel like less of a woman, or they feel like less of a wife, or they feel like less of a daughter, or you name it, right? And you're not less than, you're completely worthy.
Yes. Yes, we have to step into our power. Sometimes that can be scary, but everyone's worthy. Everyone's worthy of having good experiences, good health, and wonderful futures. Do you have any other links that you would like to leave with everyone? Everything will be in the description below for everyone to click on. Would you like to leave an email or anything else for them to contact you to learn more about you and what you do?
I can leave you the link for a holistic self-care gift, and that can sort of get you started, get you on your way, maybe embody and practice a few things and just notice the shifts because once you actually start to do and practice, you're like, "Oh, I feel better. This is working for me." And then keep going with that, you know?
Yes,
Don't
yes.
stop.
Beautiful, beautiful. So everything will be in the description below. You can click on that. Everyone, make sure you look at the description. Lots of good resources in there. And again, don't forget to subscribe to my channel so that you can watch all of these amazing episodes from all of these women all around the world sharing their expertise, their birth stories, resources, tips, etc. And please give us a like if you liked today's video. Please give us a comment if you learned something new. You can even ask us a question. We will circle back and answer that for you. And again, if you would like to learn anything else about the work that I do, I also do provide childbirth education. I am a holistic health mentor. If you would like to learn how to overcome chronic conditions in pregnancy and in postpartum and to help with your birthing experience to make it more empowered, you can reach out to me to learn more. So again, share this video so everyone can learn about Ashley and all the wonderful things that she offers, that she does. And we hope to see you next time on Holistic Me TV. So thank you, Ashley, for being a guest today. It was great to learn about all that you do and how you help to nurture women. So very important. And yeah, we have to keep on supporting each other because we do need this support. Very important that women know that there are resources to support you.
Yes. Thank you so much. It's been a pleasure.
Okay, great. And thank you all for watching Holistic Me TV.